What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome to the Sooner Surge podcast that tells it like it is. Getting closer to the opener for the Sooners, August 30th against Illinois State. If you're new to the channel here on YouTube, thank you so much for jumping in. Hit the like and subscribe. We appreciate it. If you're not new, thanks for coming back and checking out our content. Also, do us a favor, check out the Fan Stop. You can see the link there at the bottom, www.thefanstop.com/OU. Takes you directly to the shirt of the month page where you can sign up to a subscription and get a new shirt each and every month, different design, different packages to choose from. Check them out. Great people at the Fan Stop. Jackson, today we're going to talk about the most depleted room last year and maybe the biggest question mark even coming into this year because people are cautiously optimistic or just very hesitant to think that this wide receiver room is going to be much better. Let's talk about the wide receiver room, Jackson. They've got a lot of guys in that room. It's packed, but not packed with a lot of production from last year.
Right. And I think the thing with this room is outside of Deion Burks and Isaiah Satania, there's not really a ton of high-level production nor playing experience, you could say. There's some guys like Jermichael Carter, Keontae Lewis, and other people that have just had playing time, but like they don't have that production in the SEC, and really they're just going to have to develop that over time. So I look to see what guys are going to step up. We've heard the positive buzz about Keontae Lewis so far in fall camp, Jeremy. We've heard Deion Burks has been good. That Satania has been awesome. Let's see. We've also heard that Jermichael Carter, he stepped up in ways. So you have a ton of guys hearing these good things about the buzz about Zion Kearney, the jump that he could take. So there's a lot that needs to be proven in this room. But I think Oklahoma, this room, they don't just need to have some guy that's going to go out there and get 12 to 1,300 yards like Oklahoma's had in years past. I think this can be a room where you have 5 or 6 guys, maybe have 20 to 30 catches, go for between 400 and 600 yards, and really be a room that just as a unit has a very successful season.
Deion Burks is the head of this room. Sooner fans are waiting for Deion Burks to just explode onto the scene. If you remember last year, early on in the season, 3 tutties early on, hopes for expectations were through the roof about Deion Burks, and then he gets the injury that he never is able to recover from. He is the guy that everyone is turning to turn this room around and flip this room around. He's going to play some slot, I think. He's going to also play outside, I think. You mentioned other guys. Look, the Gibsons. I mean, Giovanni and Jaden, both coming off injuries. I mean, Giovanni Gibson, his spring was phenomenal. The expectations for him were through the roof. He's got a great size at receiver to play the outside, a guy who can be the possession type receiver, go across the middle, very good upper body strength. The question is, how soon will he be available? Is he going to be back in September? Is he going to be back by Michigan? No one really seems to know. The sooner the better for the Sooners. Jaden Gibson, no one knows about if he's even going to play and how effective he's going to be. So I don't really want to spend time on those 2 guys. Zion Kearney is one I'm really excited about. He put in the work in the weight room. He's got good size, good speed, all the intangibles that you want in a receiver. And then you mentioned Satania. I'm really high on Satania and Keontae Lewis. But outside of those guys, it's going to be which young guy could possibly step up. Ivan Carrion last year had a couple of good performances. Elijah Thomas is the guy that everyone seems to be high on, the true freshman, in-state kid. So which guy is going to step up? Personally, I think it's going to be Zion Kearney.
Yeah, I mean, I think that sophomore jump, you normally see these guys that are from freshmen to sophomores that take these leaps. I think Zion Kearney, he may have a chance to have the biggest leap on the team out of anyone, Jeremy, that's a freshman to sophomore. So that could be something to watch. And then whenever I think you just talk about Elijah Thomas, we've heard the hype. He was, you could maybe say, even under recruited coming out of high school just because he played at Shakota. Like he didn't have the offers of the Bamas or the Georgias, like not like none that are super insanely high offers, but he's probably a wide receiver that could play at the majority of schools in the country. I think Elijah Thomas is going to be that good. We saw the catch he had at the beginning of camp in the one-on-ones on Malik Hawkins, just a disgusting catch. And then in this room, I mean, is there going to be a wide receiver too? I think I talked about, I don't really think so. Jaden Gibson, I think you said his name, Jeremy. He's somebody that I don't even really talk about just because he's kind of been forgot about because he's just been hurt. But if he can get healthy, we saw the glimpses of what he could be.
I don't think it's happening.
Same. I don't think he's going to be able to play much this year. But this room, there's just a ton of depth, and I don't really necessarily know if even you would even maybe have a quote unquote wide receiver one. I guess you could say that is Deion Burks.
It's Deion Burks.
Yes, I know, but I'm saying like that in which I don't think you're gonna have a guy that's just gonna go for 1,000+ yards.
Yeah, I mean, I love what Mateer's been saying. They're working a lot together. He's trying to lead those guys in the right direction. Sounds like it's a hardworking group. As far as depth, I just don't know. I mean, you don't know until you see what you got. Now, opener, Illinois State, August 30th at the Palace on the Prairie. Here's the 3 starters I got, and then I want to hear yours. And you guys that are watching this video would love to hear your 3 starters. But I've got Deion Burks in the slot, and I think they're going to go with Keontez Lewis and Zion Kearney as the other 2 guys. That's the 3 I think they're going to roll with on August 30th.
Yeah, so you said Burks, Lewis, and Kearney?
Correct.
Okay. That's honestly, I think I would agree with you. I think those are going to be your 3 starting guys. If Javonte Gibson was healthy, I would go with Lewis Gibson Javonte Gibson and Deion Burks. But I have to agree. I think those 3 guys, they've all played full. They all have experience. Kearney doesn't have the production part, but he played a lot last year, which will help him a lot. And I think week 2 by Michigan, you hope to have Javonte Gibson back. I don't know if it's something you can necessarily count on up to this point. We don't really know much his timetable or anything when he's going to be back healthy, when he's even going to start to take reps in camp again. So I would agree with that, but it's a wide receiver in my expect to be much improved. There is a lot more depth. And I think whenever
we just don't know how good the depth is, Jackson.
Exactly. It's on paper, I should say there's a lot of depth. Now on the field, we have to see that. So I guess guys, they just need to prove the role. This is a big year for Emmett Jones. I know last year a lot of people weren't on the Emmett Jones bus, but it wasn't necessarily his fault what happened last year with the injuries. But still,
got to see some development. Got to see some development from these guys.
That's right, and I think John Mateer, having him at QB, is going to be able to get the receivers the balls in a lot more ways than what Jackson Arnold could do last year. So Jeremy, I'm super stoked for this room to what they can be, but now it's just who's going to step up and who's going to make the plays, in which is going to be tough competition week in and week out in the SEC.
Yeah, this wide receiver room is wide open, and we'll find out who the stars are going to be very soon. We're about a little over 20 days away. Guys, thanks for watching the content here at the Sooner Surge. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't, because there's a lot of content that's going to be dropped in the coming days. Till next time, Sooner Nation.